guys, welcome back. My name is Lauren Lotta. I'm your host, and I'm with the amazing Emma Hyndman.
Hello. How are you? You okay?
I'm good, thank you, Emma. How are you?
I'm very, very well. I am super excited to be here, as per usual.
Yes.
We've got an awesome episode lined up. We're going to look at the Olympia Fitness round.
Ooh, I love the fitness
We're
girls.
super excited. So before the show went out, we had Oksana on the show.
Yes.
And I think we were a little bit biased, right?
Yes, I was just so starstruck when we, also because we spoke to Oksana first.
Yeah.
So I was like, this.
Yeah, I know, right? But she's such a great ambassador for the sport, isn't she? And I think, it's probably one of the best fitness categories that we've seen of all time.
Yeah.
There were some real greats in there.
Yes, and everyone was super, they were back with a vengeance this last Olympia, because obviously with everything that happened, it's just been, wow.
It's been a whirlwind.
Yes.
2020 was definitely wild, but we finished on a high, and thank the Lord we managed to get the Olympia in there.
Yes, and also not only that, but we also managed to speak to Missy.
We did. So we had Missy after the Olympia, right?
Missy after?
Yes. And she brought it.
Absolutely.
She was sensational.
Definitely. So we cannot wait to show you guys some of the routines.
Yeah. Shall we dive in?
Absolutely.
Let's have a look.
And I'm very excited for this because obviously we're both coming from dance backgrounds. So we can critique.
We can critique the dancing and the performance and the style. There was some fantastic routines on this stage.
You can be like my old dance teacher. Oh, your toes pointed.
I know, right? Point your toes. Straighten your fingers.
So right now we're just looking at Olympia.
So for the fitness category, if you are not sure, what the judges are looking for, I think it's even more important now that the athlete is an all-rounder. You can't just be great at the routine aspect and not bring the physique as well. I think they expect a lot more of the athletes now. The standard of the routines are incredible. And if you don't already know, there is certain moves that the athletes have to have in. And I'm also pretty sure that there is a certain tempo that the music has to be also, because they can't ever do a slow routine. It's got to be up tempo. So I think it's certain beats per minute that they have to adhere to. And they have to bring something different. You got to try and stand out, and your routine, you have to be an exceptional performer. So let's have a look.
Good luck, you guys, doing fitness.
Yes.
Okay, so in fitness, there are actually 4 mandatory movements. You've got the press up, the high kick, the straddle, and the split.
Yeah.
And then you have to hit all 4 of those movements, which this is some sort of a press up straddle movement. That is
see,
incredibly
you tend
difficult.
to find a lot of the athletes, they're ex-gymnasts or cheerleaders.
Yes.
They always have that gymnast background. And of course, there's only, we got a little booty shake there.
That's the first for me.
That's the first time I've seen that.
Are they allowed to do that?
I don't know, but we're always partial to a little booty shake on stage. I think there's a very fine line for this category to get it right. And I think to find an athlete that is a fantastic bodybuilder with basically they have to have the attributes of a figure competitor.
Wow.
Now, I think Missy's really proven that. You have to have stage presence, which I don't think all athletes have.
Yeah. That's something you're born with.
Yeah. You have to have that performance quality, and that's what makes it special. That's what makes them want an Oksana or a Missy or
Whitney.
Or a Whitney. They have that performance quality, and it needs to be more than just gymnastic moves. It's got to have more in it.
Yeah.
And I think Oksana really set the precedent for that over the past, what did she do? Nearly 10 years of competing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, it's that feeling as well, like that musicality that comes through with the music. And
it's
just
emotive.
Yes.
There has to be something emotive in there. So it's really a special category. And I sometimes think that this category actually doesn't get as much recognition
Absolutely.
as it deserves, because the ladies, you know, they're not just prepping to look good in figure. So we've got Oksana on the screen here now.
Wow. So this was her post-retirement Olympia show.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, she looks great.
And I think with Oksana, like, you really feel it, and it's a whole performance, and she's not just a gymnast. You know, these moments are just exceptional. You've got to be able to hold the crowd, and it's just about more than the tricks.
But also what's interesting about fitness is that they keep on moving. You know, there's never a moment where anyone stops.
And that's because, I think that's because of the speed of the track, the BPM. I mean, you can just see there the speed at that Oksana is moving at, you know.
And that would increase
exceptional.
the level of difficulty, which also automatically, like, I don't know if that would mean you'd get more points, but obviously the more difficult and the more you're able to execute your movements, like, you're going to get scored a lot higher. That is such a cool ending.
Exceptional. Yeah, she knows she nailed it. She's happy.
She's like, I'm back.
She's an exceptional athlete, you know. She really does give it her all. But yeah, she's just fantastic. And these ladies, you know, they have to practice the routine. They have to then remain in prep. So they're in a deficit, but they're drilling this routine. And that takes a lot of energy.
Yeah. Ariel Kadar. And just to also let you know, the routine element counts as 2/3 of your scoring, and then your presentation round counts as 1/3. So it's a big chunk of the score, really, isn't it? Absolutely. So the more you can put into your routine, really, like,
the better.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Now, Ariel,
I mean, it's just incredible.
Yeah. Ooh, but I gotta say, Ariel to me improves year on year. And she's different. She's really gymnastics background.
Oh, wow.
I wonder if she's
like a warrior.
That.
Yeah, she's a warrior. Mortal Kombat, that's the one. Thanks to Kaleem in the background there. That's our producer.
Can she see?
Yes. She got to be able to see a little bit. Otherwise, that's some next level spatial awareness. I couldn't even see myself doing like a backward roll with my eyes covered.
No way.
No, maybe not even a forwards roll. So the fact that she's doing round offs and back springs and all sorts. But the amount of gymnastics that they're able to put into these routines, they're insane.
Very, very athletic.
Very.
Goodness. And
Heaps
the costume detail as well, like everything within that presentation round. Even, for example, when we talk about the bikinis and figure and figure.
And women's bodybuilding, women's physique.
You know, this is a piece of your presentation that you also wanted to count as much as possible. And so,
yeah,
just like with what Ariel does in terms of, she did the, what is that movie? The Alien movie. It's probably called Alien. Predator. She did Predator, and that costume was insane. I know I'm going to get hated for that one. I'm so sorry to everyone that's a Predator fan. I'm really sorry. But yes, like, so much effort and like, just
you've got to really
costumes.
think about the full package, don't you? You've got to think about you know, what the theme of your routine is, how does the outfit go with that. So it's yeah, you got to bring it all.
Oh, Meena. Now Meena is awesome. Okay, I've been following her for a while.
Yeah,
she gets better too all the time. Yes,
awesome.
Go Meena. I think she came fourth or fifth this year. Yeah, she did really well. She did really well.
And their physiques have just progressed so much as well.
Yeah. So this is the lady we saw actually in the Romania, and she tried to do the wellness.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, she's much better suited to this.
Yeah. Fitness is Meena's thing. Like.
Yes. So Meena, she competed in wellness. Yeah.
Yes. But this fitness
to
round
get her pro card, or she already had her pro card, right?
She already had a pro card. Yeah. She was just trying to, I guess, switch categories for this year to qualify. But she was already qualified for fitness this year. But she's just amazing.
Yeah, no, fitness 100%.
I love the props as well. Like,
I know, I do love a good prop. I've actually danced with one of those ribbons before, and
So
they're a lot harder than they look.
yeah, the rhythmic gymnastics ribbons, they're so hard. They get tangled up really quickly.
Yeah.
And you can actually get ribbon burn if you're not careful on
I've
your
been
skin.
whipped by a ribbon. On stage. Or not. We'll keep it clean.
No comment. Go Meena.
Yeah.
Yes.
She suits this category so much
Yeah.
more.
Oh, I'm so happy for her.
She doesn't even look out of breath.
Yeah. Okay, so on to the, defending champ, which Whitney Jones.
I love her cloak.
Yes. It's very Ronnie Coleman, isn't it? Like,
Oh, yes.
oh, she looks like a queen. She's like,
She
I'm coming in
does.
to defend my
Is she
title.
like an ice queen?
Oh,
Oh, she's got the O on the back.
that's cool.
I like. She's like, I'm coming. I really like her. I'd love to get her on the show.
Yes.
She has so much energy.
Yeah. I don't know how she does
Wow.
it, actually. She never stops with
No.
everything she does.
She doesn't. Wow. Wow.
That was cool.
Amazing.
And she's had quite a few surgeries and,
She has, yeah.
like she's just come back
Knee injuries.
and she just carries on going.
I know.
Like, it's not going to stop her. She's just like getting stronger from it.
Yeah.
She's going to be like half robot. Bionic woman.
Bionic. Wowza.
That is cool. Go Whitney.
Oh.
That was cool.
Oh,
Oh my
wow.
God.
See, I like it when they put something like this in. Oh, she's a bit of a robot there. We like that. When they put a bit of personality in, instead of it all just being, backflip after backflip.
I agree.
Do you know what as well with this category also, when you see like lots of athletes that are very good, for example, at backflipping and doing all of these tricks, like I would hate to be the last girl because everyone's done everything. So it's all, you still want a reaction from the crowd, but by the last person, they've seen 10 backflips already. So I'm like, I would be like, make me number one. Because then everyone's going to be wowed by everything.
Okay.
Okay. And I wonder how that works for the judges. Maybe in the first one, they're like, wow. And by the end, they're like, ugh, seen it.
I don't know. Go Whitney.
Amazing. She's
well done.
just fantastic. She's one of the all-time greats.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Man, that was Whitney. She looks
That was
awesome.
so impressive. So next we are going to move on to Missy. And we had her on the show, as we said earlier, after we had her on post Olympia. And, she was just such a worthy winner. She had everything. She bounces between figure and for fitness. So that tells you right there that she's got a fantastic physique and she's well worthy of being up there with the figure girls. She's got beautiful shape, she's got roundness, fullness, she's got the X-frame, and I think sometimes a lot of the fitness girls, they maybe lack that because they focus, it's obviously it's been known as more of a gymnastics category, but definitely over, I think, the past few years, it's become even more important that they really got to make sure that they have a fantastic figure that hits the criteria for that as well. And I think moving forwards, it's probably going to be difficult for up and coming athletes to be competitive, in the top three. So I think we kind of see with this sport, it goes in waves. So I think there's probably going to be a new wave and a new generation that will come through, but Missy's definitely set the standard for that. So, I'm super excited to watch her routine, and I think she's actually got some pretty fantastic props. And again, she's just one of those athletes that is just an all-rounder. The gymnastics routines are just out of this world, and I really feel like in this show that she came to win. And obviously there was a lot of great athletes in the Olympia this year, so it was really anyone's for the taking. So we'll just see how it all pans out.
All right, so now we are looking at Missy, and this was a spectacular routine, so it needs to be shown again from start to finish.
100%. I mean, that's a big prop.
I think she said it was like 6 foot high.
Oh, wow.
So when we were talking to her, she said that she had been practicing on those plyo boxes, and she'd been increasing the height for something which you'll see now. But it was a fabulous routine. Wait for it. Come on.
So creative.
Yes.
And she was practicing this move whilst in lockdown in front of her garage. So she was like, people would walk by and she'd just be like doing this out in the front yard. And I think her neighbours thought she was crazy. But wow.
There you go. That's what she was practicing.
Yes.
So she was putting plyo boxes up and getting them up to that height so that she could practice it, and just getting her confidence up.
Wow.
Because that is quite something. You want to land that correctly at Olympia.
Oh,
that's
gosh,
for sure.
Absolutely. And the judges, do they have some sort of, I would imagine they switch the judges for this category to make sure that they have judges there that have a fitness background, or
no, I don't think
they just simply get judged on the criteria,
just on the criteria, and then what else you can bring to it. If you that's that level of difficulty that we were talking about earlier that really plays the part on who will win and if those movements are nailed. And that where she forward flips, or I call it the Missy tuck, off of the big box or big cage, that would have increased her difficulty by so much more.
Oh, yeah, girl.
There we go.
Yes, she knows she's nailed that. Amazing.
Woo. That was cool.
Amazing. So dynamic.
Yeah.
And she really does have that performance quality. And you can just tell, like, she's been performing for a long time, because you can just really see that throughout the whole routine.
Yeah.
She's just fantastic. And she's got the body. So let's
Absolutely.
head on over to the comparisons just so we can really see how these ladies fare in the lineup. Because I think, as you were saying, that's 1/3 of the marks. So 2/3 on the routine, and then 1/3 is on the comparison. So let's take a look at the ladies and let's see how they all compare with each other.
So now we're going to take a look at the comparison round for the Fitness Olympia, and we're starting off with glutes.
Ha! We love the glute shots. So obviously this is this the first comparison round? I think it might be.
So
and as you can see from the ladies, it is just as important that your physique is strong, is 1/3 of the mark. So obviously, straight up, Missy stands out amazingly. She's got the roundness, the fullness, the condition, and just a beautiful, beautiful X frame here. Look at the taper across the top. I think with some of the ladies here, they can become a little bit trap dominant, and I don't know if that's because of the category, but Missy's posing is fantastic. I've actually spent a lot of time watching her, and when I first came across her, I didn't realize she was a fitness athlete. I actually thought she was a figure girl, and I just always thought, oh, her proportions are lovely, and she's got so much balance as well. But for me, in this round, Missy really does dominate. She's got a fantastic aesthetic flow to her physique, and just looking at Oksana and Whitney, they just weren't quite presenting themselves as well.
Yeah.
And I think as well, maybe because they've been in this category a little bit longer, I think sometimes you can become you can kind of stick to your own ways of posing. And I sometimes find when I work with athletes of this level and stature, it's really hard to make them pose slightly differently to make them look better, because they're so ingrained on how they like to pose. I mean, for me here, Whitney, she's a little bit rounded in the top line. The shoulders are a little bit rounded. And the same for Oksana as well. She could probably open up a lot more. And obviously from the back, you can see there, if we could just pause this like we just did before, because it's a great comparison. They always move just before we want them to.
I'll get them back for you.
Thank you. So in the rear pose, obviously, it's difficult because for this category, the ladies, they work so hard, and the majority of the points and the scoring is done on the routine. But when you are actually looking at them from a figure perspective, you have to judge them on a figure standard. And I mean, for me, and maybe it's because, you know, Missy does jump between the figure and the fitness round, like her posing and her physique is both. So if we just pause it here, I mean, I know Oksana and Whitney are mid pose, but if you look at Missy, she is wide across the top line. Her shoulders are fully capped and rounded, and you can almost see the front delts.
Okay.
So it gives you, I like to call it a 3D top line. And because she is wider on top, it gives her more of a taper. If Whitney, I know Whitney isn't quite finished in this pose, but just as she is stood now, if Whitney opened up her chest, I always say, take your almost like your breastbone up to the ceiling. If she lifted up and over towards the front a little bit more, we'd have a little bit more of an impressive top line. And Oksana, the same. She and also on the lower half for Oksana, there's no, if there was a stretch between through the lower back and into the hamstrings, and she rotated the knees outwards, we'd get more detail through the hamstrings, and we'd get more outer sweep. So as a result, Oksana looks a little bit smaller compared to Missy and Whitney, and that could purely just be a posing thing. But I mean, let me say that these women are phenomenal, and that they don't just do the figure round, they obviously do the routine as well. So it's very, very impressive.
Should I stop?
The side pose, yeah. So it really as well, these ladies should be looking at the figure category and the style of posing. And if I was in this category, I would be acting like Missy and making sure I'm versatile between categories. If I can be competitive as a figure competitor, then I'm going to actually really hold my own in the fitness category.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's also probably why she posed a lot better, like because she's just so used to that kind of style.
She stood on stage as a pro in a pro figure lineup. So you've got to bring that, and she's always placed really, really well.
Yeah, she looks great.
So yeah, I can really see why she won.
Yeah, she looked great. Lots of good balance there as well.
Beautiful full muscle bellies, wide taper, tiny little waist. And I love from this front pose here, which a little trick I'm going to tell everyone now. You can see on Missy that you can see the top of her glutes in the front pose.
Okay.
From the front. Now that gives you more taper. If all of the ladies did that, which they can, it gives you more of a tapered waist. If you can see Whitney, she isn't quite arching in the lower back, which if she arched in the lower back just a tiny touch, she would get fuller glutes from the front.
It's kind of like, you mentioned this last time when we were reviewing figure, and you were saying you arch like a dolphin and you imagine fireworks coming out of your chest.
That's from the back.
And then from the front, if they did that like in the back but back to front, would that make sense?
Yes, it does. But obviously from the front, you wouldn't want to arch backwards through the upper body because you'd end up leaning backwards and losing the top line. So in the front pose, on the lower half, yes, arch in the lower back. You don't want to overarch because sometimes you can lose the condition in the legs.
Okay.
So we still want to keep the hip flexors. So if you squeeze the glutes, it activates the hip flexors and brings through more quad detail. In the upper body, you wouldn't lean backwards like you do in the rear pose because we lose the shelf of the top line. So you ever so slightly lean forwards and towards the judges, and it gives a more impressive V taper.
Wow. You guys.
I mean, yeah. So I don't want to sound like I'm, obviously Oksana and Whitney are both insane athletes, but I'm just talking from a posing perspective. So
I can see what you mean, though, in terms of the glutes popping on the outside. And definitely create a little more of a V there. I
would love to get my hands on this lineup. Like, oh my gosh, this would be my idea of heaven. So, ladies,
if
you can use me free of charge. I'm happy to help. Call me.
There you go. You guys got lifetime help from the posing pro.
Forever, for free of charge.
Yeah.
But you can see it. You can really see it between Whitney and the other girls. Missy. Yeah. So, but exceptional athletes.
Yeah, they all look absolutely outstanding, just phenomenal. But I can definitely see why
the difference in the posing.
Yeah,
why the posing styles.
Yeah, this was definitely Missy's time. It was her time to dominate.
100%. 100%. So they're fantastic.
Yeah. Look at them getting moved around again. And fun fact, Missy is wearing these shoes right over here.
Oh, she is?
She's wearing these exact shoes. They're called the Elegant. And these are the non-strapless version. But if you look closely, this is the one.
So she got straps on hers?
No, I think she's strapless. But yes, beautiful, elegant shoes with chrome detail finish. And you can see it's the exact same one. Oh, yeah, it's exact. No straps.
Yeah. And you were saying that these shoes are quite popular. A lot of the girls like them.
Yes, they're beautiful. Quite light as well. Nice to walk in. But they all look amazing. And
I really think, do you know what, moving forwards, I think that this round of the fitness category, the figure round, I think it's going to become even more important.
Wow.
I think Missy's really setting the standard for this. I think the girls will be obviously working hard on their routines, but they're also going to have to really spend some time bringing their A game.
And the physique.
This is the toughest. I think this is the toughest category.
I'm going to say yes to that just because of all the other elements that go into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well done to these ladies. But yes, Missy has set the tone.
Yeah, so that is your fitness lineup. And I think we all know what the placements were.
Yeah.
What the result was. So obviously we had Whitney in third.
Yes.
We had Oksana in second. And then Missy taking the crown.
Absolutely.
Which much deserved. And if you haven't yet watched the interview with Missy, definitely head over and watch that. Yes. She is super inspiring, isn't she?
And very motivational, and her mindset is just phenomenal as well. So
she's definitely going to be on that stage for a little while longer, I think.
I think so too.
I think so, for sure. So that's it from us, guys. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, I hope you guys had an amazing fitness review. Please let us know what you like. Let us know if you're competing in fitness this year.
Oh, yes.
We don't know many people that are.
No.
So it'll be good to actually get some girls on and see who's
fitness.
Competing. Yeah.
100%.
I'd love that. Okay, guys, so we're going to do shout outs, and we're going to start off with Emma's first shout out of the day.
My first shout out of the day is Suits You Sexy, which is a swimwear company that is based in Florida. And I kept seeing these bikinis and swimsuits on a lot of the pro athletes, and I was like, where are these coming from? So here it is. Here is the store. And basically, these are the best swimsuits, one pieces that you will find. And I don't know, I'm hoping that when I buy one, that I might look like one of these ladies.
So over here, you've got Marcia, who is an IFBB Bikini Pro from the back. Okay. We got another, I can't remember. This is Romina. So she's one of their sponsored athletes. Francesca. Basically, these suits are also seen in a lot of the NPC news online.
Yeah. This is where I'd seen them. And I was like, wow, these are spectacular.
Yes.
So do you know how long she's been open?
Actually, yes. She's been open since 1997. And she started off with just like basic bikinis, and then she does crystallized bikinis too. But she's really she's making a name for herself with the sexy bikinis.
Oh, wow. I mean, look at that leopard print. Wowza.
This is my one that I got.
Oh, nice.
I just went.
What did she said to me before, Lauren said, it is the most I've ever paid for the smallest amount of material. What's the starting price of a bikini, Lauren?
It depends on which one you go. This one wasn't too bad. It was $58.
Oh, okay.
But because it's got no embellishments on it, it's just literally a micro bikini. So it's like the tiniest bikini ever. I don't mind. We try everything. So.
Absolutely. You definitely need a micro bikini in your wardrobe.
But then, for example, something like this might be, I think, $88 or $98.
Okay. That would be really cool for like a photo shoot or something.
Yes.
Definitely.
So, they've got loads of pro athletes wearing it. Oh, here is Bojana. And as you guys can see, they work very well for photo shoots.
Yes, absolutely. So head on over to the Instagram page, which is Suits You Sexy. And make sure you give them a like. And I think sometimes they do sales. So definitely check that out as well. But yes, we are loving these bikinis.
Yes, they're so fun and gorgeous.
You can give us a full review when you get yours.
Yes, I just won't be wearing it on the show until... so yes,
awesome.
We'll bring it in. That's Suits You Sexy.
Who is your shout out for today, Lauren?
Okay, so my shout out is actually a new supplement company. And the reason why I chose this one is because it's started by Casey Marshall, who is an IFBB bikini pro. She doesn't compete as much now. But she started this, and she started with I think another lady called Danielle. But it's, this is pretty incredible. I like seeing when pros start off with their new lines, or they start off just trying something new, and it just, let's give them some support.
Yes,
basically what I'm trying to say.
And it's a female run supplement range, which we are all for, aren't we?
Absolutely. So I actually came across this on Ashley Janelle's page, and there aren't many sort of female supplement brands anyway, and that's also why I sort of picked up on it, because they do loads of stuff like essentials, carnitine, CLA, and it's created by competitors for competitors and just for like general living. So you can tell that the girls have put some thought into it and thought into the products, because they know what, if they were still competing, or if they are competing now, what other girls would want if they were competing now too. So that's pretty cool.
I like it. So cool. So you can get a complete range of different supplements. I really like the branding as well. It's cool.
Yeah. So it's all it's called B Subs, and it's started by Casey Marshall, and she actually has her own team called Boss Bodies.
Oh,
so
cool.
she's all about
female
being
empowerment,
female boss. So I love it. So yeah, you guys.
Oh, fantastic.
That is B_subs. Please go give them a like and a follow. And if you're in the US, I think your shipping would be free over a certain amount. If you're here, unfortunately, import duties and taxes for now. But
for now, who knows what can
somewhere. Got to start somewhere. So you guys, that is B_subs. And yes, thank you so much for watching today's episode. We hope that you enjoyed it.
Thanks, guys. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.